One of the conversations that comes up a lot with both companies and with candidates and job seekers in the current climate is around the issue of when hiring begins again. Which sort of companies are going to be hiring? Why would companies be potentially hiring in the not too distant future, given what's happened in the last couple of months with COVID and the economic shutdown? And unfortunately, the number of companies who've, of course, been forced to let people go during that period. It does kind of beg the question of, well, why are they then going to start hiring again anytime soon? Well, I think there's probably three categories, I would say. The first of which would be those companies who, up until COVID suddenly descended upon us in or certainly in Australia in kind of early March, companies who at that point were hiring. Where things were still pretty normal, but the economy wasn't going fantastically, but it was doing pretty well, and those companies had a need, whether it was replacing somebody or growing a team, and they were hiring. And then obviously suddenly, bang, early March, and that all stopped. So some of those companies clearly, once the dust has settled, will look at their situation and decide, well, we had a need a few months ago, we may well still have that need, or we may have a percentage of that need. So maybe if they were looking at hiring 2 or 3 people, they might only hire 1 or 2, and proportionally from there. That happens quite a lot. So I think that'll be the first category. The second category will be those companies who, often for reasons of share price and sort of being forced to be quite short term in many ways in their thinking, will have cut very, very deep as things got terrible sort of during March, April, and maybe early May. Those companies often are forced to make very drastic cutbacks. And as the economy starts to pick up again, they may quite quickly realise that they now don't have enough headcount for even the new normal. Even though we're not going to go straight back to where we want to be, there will be a lift. And some of those companies will realise they need more people than they've currently got. Now, this happened during the GFC as well. This issue that dramatic cuts would then be followed by not too much longer, the beginning of hiring again. And I think it is often driven by share price and the need to do something very drastic in the short term, and then obviously having to then address that down the track. So that, I think, will be the second category of company. Third category, I think, will be those companies will begin to bring people on, but what they might do, what might be a little bit different, is if they are companies who normally hire people in permanent roles for certain jobs, they may sort of look at that a little bit differently and say, well, perhaps we can get someone in on a more temporary basis. Maybe it's a short-term contract. Maybe it's temporary in terms of less hours in the week. Or maybe it's just a question of you get someone in and they work full-time, but you do it on a temp sort of basis so that you can perhaps bring it to an end if it doesn't work out in the way you wish. And I think that sort of temp or contract format may well be something that's very attractive to companies who perhaps don't do a lot of that normally, but will see it as a logical way to start as the hiring begins again. So I think that broadly speaking, that's the 3 categories. It'll be those who already had a need, and in a sense will have a need once the dust settles. Those who cut too deep and who have to then repopulate. And then I think the third will be those who have a new need, but maybe are a little bit cautious about exactly what, how they bring someone into the business. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. And of course, if you've got your own thoughts, please let me know. Thank you.